Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lectionary. And I thought for today, for Tuesday, we would take a look at the lesson that's assigned from morning prayer from Isaiah the prophet. Remember, we've been working both morning and evening prayer through sections of Isaiah the prophet. And we're getting very close to the end of the book. We're at chapter 65 already, all the way up to verse 17. And of all the hard things that Isaiah has had to say about why it is that God is punishing the people of the original covenant for their unfaithfulness, what we begin to see are the promises from God through the words of Isaiah the prophet that in fact something new is coming and something better because of the time has gone past and they're beginning to realize the grievousness of their sins and they're starting to repent and return to the Lord. And when this full measure is done, then we will see something even more wonderful. And so here's the prophecy from Isaiah in the 65th chapter. For behold, I create a new heaven and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat. For as in the days of a tree there are days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble. For they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord. So we have this wonderful image of, after all the bad that's happened, right, that they planted vineyards and now somebody else is living in them, that they built houses and now somebody else is living in them because they've been tossed out of Israel. They've been forced out through conquest by the Babylonians by God's measure. I mean, God allowed it to happen because of their unfaithfulness. Now Isaiah is telling them that God is going to turn course because they've become faithful, because they are learning to be members of that original covenant and to follow the will of the Lord. It all boils down to sin, folks. And he says it right in here. He says that, that for the man who is blessed and holy and who wants to live according to the Lord 100 years, it's a blessing, right? For those who are sinful, 100 years will be a curse, right? That's a kind of a sad thought that if you're sinful and you live long, it's going to be a time of cursing, not blessing. But ultimately, he's talking about not just the individual, but the corporate whole as well, that there's a blessing in a corporate holiness as well. And so we certainly rejoice for that. So, and I always, when I hear these sort of things, I also hear the promise in the book of Revelation of St. John the Divine, where he talks about a new Jerusalem, right? But that one is a heavenly Jerusalem. Here, Isaiah is talking about a return back to the promised land, and yet there is an eschatological aspect of it, going further out, where he talks about the wolf and the lamb feeding together, and the lion shall eat straw like a bullock. In other words, the lion won't be attacking other animals to eat them, because that's what animals do, right? They're carnivores. Lions are, at least. So it's interesting that he uses this eschatological, this end-time vision as well, which is picked up for in the Revelation of St. John the Divine, right? So I guess maybe God is pretty used to using those symbols and those same things and revealing them through the prophets to Isaiah, and then, of course, through the angel to John, who recorded it for us. So it is Tuesday. We have Holy Communion today at 12:15 and 5 o'clock evening prayer. And a reminder that Thursday is a major holy day, a prayer book, red letter prayer book holy day. And it's the feast, the Epiphany. We will have Mass on Thursday, on the holy day, at 10:30 a.m. And I hope that you can join us in person, either today or tomorrow or Thursday, or that you'll join us online at the YouTube channel, St. John's Priest, or on Facebook, St. John's Detroit. And may God bless you with a Tuesday that is full of blessings.